Hey there everyone, it's MisterStubstep and I'm doing another video yet again that no one requested, but I thought it'd be a fun and interesting video to do, and also you can leave down below in the comments, what cards are your grails. I first heard of the term grail when I was a sneakerhead back in high school, and it's like, oh, these shoes are my grails, and of course there are always like some ridiculous shoes that you can never pay the resale or the third-party price, but you could always dream of owning that pair of shoes one day. The original origins, they vary. They can be from Arthurian literature, or they can be in reference to, Jesus at the Last Supper with the Holy Grail. A lot of people say it's something that you can never obtain. Other people put it to different objects and everything, giving you everlasting life, what have you. But in this case, no religion at all here, just talking about Pokemon cards. A lot of collectors and many hobbies use the term grail. So basically meaning something that's either like your number one goal or like just an item that you want that you'll probably never get. But a lot of times, I feel like in today's day and age, a lot of times hyperbole and just overstating things has become the trend. Hence why the word literally has pretty much lost all of its meaning. So a lot of people show off, hey, these are all my grails and all that stuff. So today I'm going to discuss my grail cards, and please give me any feedback down below what you think, and then what your grail cards as well. And if you hear me clicking, it's because I have all of them kind of queued up on my computer, just so I have like some pictures for inspiration, since I'm just talking straight to the camera. First off, we have the Mario and Luigi Pikachu cards. So if I had to pick one out of these four, I'd probably pick the full art Luigi one, but all of them are amazing. I would love to have any of them in my collection. The sealed products of those go for ridiculous prices, and then of course the cards, pretty much everybody probably has them graded by now because of how valuable they are. They are Japanese exclusive promos, to my knowledge. If it's otherwise, I'll have down below. But just beautiful cards. I love the Mario games. I mean, do I love them more than Pokemon? I don't know. It comes and goes, because obviously Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon are like the big three in my head. And I feel like whenever one of the new games comes out, they're the number one. Like right now, Legend of Zelda is the number one in my head. But overall, beautiful cards. Let me know if you have any of those. Next off, we have, I know it's cliche and it's been the most talked about card for probably ever since it came out, but getting the Umbreon VMAX alternate art from Evolving Skies and a Beckett 10, that black label, it just looks so sweet. I don't even like Beckett labels. I don't like the size and the dimensions of them, but I have to admit, it looks super clean with cards that it matches with. And in this case, the Umbreon VMAX it looks so good with the Beckett black label. I don't blame people for paying those prices. I can never afford those prices, and I can never bring myself to pay that much money for a card like that. But, if we worked out some trades or something, who knows? But beautiful card. Let me know if you have that card as well. Next up, we have the Pikachu screen promo. So there's a lot of great screen promos, and I believe it's based off of the art originally done by Van Gogh. If it's a different artist, I'll put that name down below. But all of the screen promos I think are beautiful, but the Pikachu by far is my favorite. Once again, I know it's cliche, it's Pikachu. There's a Psyduck, there's a Mimikyu, there's an Eevee, there's a Rowlet. But the Pikachu just looks clean. I like it. Anytime Pikachu touches its cheeks, I just love that electricity, that cuteness. It's really nice. I just like the card a lot. Let me know which one your favorite screen promo is. Next, another fairly basic one, but the Rayquaza V alternate art. I actually like it over the VMAX. I think the VMAX just looks kind of... It's tough to get the VMAX alternate artworks down pat, because sometimes making it look really, really big in like a scene, it's kind of tough to pull off. In this case, it does look good because, the Rayquaza VMAX is just laying down to like almost within a mountain range. But the Rayquaza V, I just love it. It's a back shot of Rayquaza V. There's Zinnia, and it looks like a Whismur as well. And Zinnia, I don't even like Zinnia as a character, but that was one of my favorite moments in Pokemon, the re-releases of Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, when you kind of do it's not like DLC, but the post-game stuff, and you go through that whole Dragon Quest or whatever with Zinnia, and it brings back so many memories. Such a nice artwork. You can see the beautiful sky and the sunlight. It's an amazing card. Would love that card in my collection. And next up, we have another Japanese exclusive, the Here Comes Team Rocket full art promo from the X and Y era. This promo is just, oh my gosh. I love the original style of Jesse and James and Meowth. But this card, it might even be, I forget what artist it is, but it looks like an artist that I'm thinking of's artwork, and if it is, then that makes total sense. But I love everything about this artwork. I love Jesse and James. I would there's a part of me that wanted them to be like in their original, or like from the anime, their white outfits, but the black looks so clean with this card. I overall just think it's a really good promo card. I think it came with like some really special collector's edition box set something. I think it also came with the Giovanni as well, but really cool card. Let me know if you have this card, because that's an amazing card. Next, we have another basic card from Evolving Skies, the Dragonite V alternate art. It's tough. Is this my favorite alternate art of Sword and Shield? I was thinking about doing like a top 10, just my favorite alternate art cards from Sword and Shield era, and I don't know. This might be it. I would say Dragonite's like in my top 25 favorite Pokemon. It's a derpy boy. You have Fearos and Spearows in the background or below. Dragonite is just up in the sky, which is relevant, you know, Tears in the Kingdom, you up in the sky. It's just, I love everything about it. It's just a beautiful card, so pure, so peaceful, so clean and simple, and it's just everything that I love in an alternate art card. Next, whew, man, this might be just one of my favorite regular holo cards. We have the Mew holo from Expedition. A lot of people call this like the embryo Mew or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Like, this to me is like the quintessential Mew card. I know there's the shiny Mew, the Corocoa promo. There's a lot of, actually, Mew has amazing cards throughout the years. Even the Evolutions Mew looks good, which is based off of, you know, an older promo. But this Mew it's just everything I could want. A Mew card. It looks like Mew is just like fully submerged underwater, and then the holo is just really good, and then just the Expedition style of card just really works well with this Mew. Everything's like kind of symmetrical, how it's like an L with the borders, and the Mew's kind of sitting that L sit, that fetal position, if you will, and it just looks good. It just looks good. I think this is way better than the Mewtwo artwork. I know a lot of people, like specifically the person that comes to mind is TCA Gaming. He loves the Mewtwo artwork from Expedition. I think it's from Expedition, but this Mew I think blows that out of the water. Next, we have, this might be my favorite Gold Star of all time, the Rayquaza Gold Star. An amazing card. This might even be the most expensive Gold Star, at least on the English side. And there's a lot of good Gold Stars, don't get me wrong. Like almost every, I would dream to have any Gold Star in my collection, because that's actually one of the few like top rarity cards that I just don't have any of in my collection, at least that I know of. Yeah, I don't think I have any. And it's just, wow. It's an amazing card. Shiny Rayquaza, I think, is one of the best shinies. I know it's basic, just whatever your color is, and then go into black, but it looks so clean. It just brings out my childhood nostalgia. Love Rayquaza. Rayquaza was the first legendary that I ever like shiny hunted, technically. And I think it was Ultra Moon? Yeah, it was Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and I had Ultra Moon. So, yeah. Amazing card. If only. One day. If only. Next up, we have... So, I know I mentioned that the Rayquaza is my favorite Gold Star, but this one is just... up on the Grail list, this is above this one. The Umbreon Gold Star, but the Japanese promo that you had to get like 70,000 points or whatever. It's like the play promo. Shiny Umbreon, one of the best shinies of all time. Umbreon, my favorite evolution. Once again, I know basic and very common, but it's just, I love defensive, bulky Pokemon. And of course, if you ever play Pokemon Coliseum, you start out with an Umbreon and Espeon, and that's when I fell in love. Even though Espeon would do all the cleaning up, I just loved Umbreon, its reliability. I would use Umbreon to tank all the hits so I could keep healing my other Pokemon that would actually, you know, finish the job. And it's just a beautiful card, so clean. And the Japanese one has like the holo as well, which is really nice. And it's just a clean card. If you have this card, whew, I envy you. I envy you. Next up, so I know I mentioned the BGS Black Label Umbreon VMAX alternate art, and I didn't want to do too many graded cards because I feel like that just gets kind of silly. But this one I will not be able to afford anytime soon. The first edition Bulbasaur PSA 10 from base set. It's just Bulbasaur, my first starter. I love grass. It's the first star. I would take this over the Venusaur any day, even though I know the Venusaur would go for more money. But Bulbasaur, just using that Leech Seed, it brings back so many memories. I would always use Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur is, you know, slower, doesn't hit quite as hard. But, you know, you just slowly whittled away at the enemy. You got a little poison powder, a little sleep powder, it's not paralyzed powder, what is it? The yellow powder. Stun Spore. Look at that. And even Leech Seed, like you could just, I know being on the other end was really annoying when that happened, but I enjoyed you know, making a bunch of NPCs suffer slowly, you know. But yeah, it's an amazing card. Once again, pretty simple. It's first edition base set. Nothing too crazy. Next up, oh, man. I look at this card and it just brings a smile on my face because it is so beautiful. The Alola Friends from Sun and Moon, I believe it is a Japanese exclusive. Just, there's a lot of friends and regions that have come out recently, and I'm so thankful that they made a lot of them way more reasonable to collect. But this Alola Friends one is still very out of reach because, you know, it's just a very special promo. It came from the limited collection Master Battle Set, which anytime you got limited Master Collection Battle Set, it's just asking for a premium. And this is just a beautiful card. I mean, you have, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it and it's just a card that I'm just marveling. You have, of course, you have Gladion, like everyone's showing their personality, which is beautiful. You have Hao, of course, your rival. You have Lily, person that you kind of go along with the entire storyline. And then you have Malo and Lana, which I don't think they're the two first not gym challenges. What were they called? The Trials? I feel like they were called Trials. I don't know. I'll have had it down below what the official name was if it's not Trials. But just beautiful card. If you have this card, please let me know because this card is so beautiful. And seriously, I could look at this card all day. Like, it's one of those cards that you could just sit down and just marvel in and be like, am I really just spending my time looking at this card? And yes, I am. I love it. Sun and Moon isn't even my favorite generation. And the final one, I feel like this is kind of a cop-out, but I have to reign true with my Kirlia Master Set tendencies. My number one Grail card would be a PSA 10 pre-release staff promo from Secret Wonders of Kirlia. And I think I've only seen a PSA 10 of this for sale once on eBay, and I think it was like $7 or $8 grand. And I haven't seen one since. I see a bunch of PSA 9s, which I could probably scoop up for fairly cheap. But I don't even know the population report for this. I would say it's in the upper half of my favorite Kirlia artworks. Definitely not, you know, like top 3 or anything like that. But it's a decent artwork. But because if all Kirlia cards in PSA 10 form were for sale, this would be the most expensive Kirlia card by far. So that's the reason why I want it. Purely monetary-wise, I know I try not to be like that investor or whatever, all that stuff, which I'm not. I'm mainly here for the collecting. But if we're just talking specifically Grails, just cards that I'll probably never obtain because of how hard they are to get or how expensive they are, this Kirlia just takes the cake. And I'm a Kirlia Master Set collector, so it makes sense. So, yeah, that actually concludes my list. It was nice to kind of go through these cards. I know a few of these I could probably get in like really cruddy condition and afford now. Like some of them, maybe the alternate arts and maybe even that Mew from Expedition I could probably get. But because they're like some of my favorite cards of all time, I would try to get them in better condition, which, you know, then the price starts skyrocketing. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know down below any cards that you're chasing or whatever. I could have easily just put a bunch of cards that would help me complete sets. But you got to understand, I never start on my path to completing a set unless I think, oh, I'm going to complete the set pretty soon, like within the year. Like, I'm never going to say, oh, let me start collecting first edition base set right now, because that would probably take me a long time, and it just wouldn't be that enjoyable since I already have a base set and I'm not really adding any new artworks to my collection. So I wanted to choose cards that I thought were slightly out of reach currently where I'm at in life. But yeah, once again, let me know, and it can be, you know, any cards. It doesn't have to be the most expensive cards ever. It can be cheap cards, and then I'll probably look them up and, you know, see what's happening with the card that you claim as your Grail or Holy Grail or whatever. But I want to thank you all so much for watching and listening to me blabber on about some Pokemon cards. There's some beautiful cards out there. If there's any that I missed, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.